Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good time zone. Good afternoon. I did that in the wrong order. How's it going, everyone? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. We are partway through the trial, I believe. And we have some... I'm in a bit of a stuck situation. I don't really know exactly... excuse me, exactly what I need to do, so let's just read through all of this again. After the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room, something I was interested in finding out. Since you're on the job, made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. So when someone showed up, it was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. I don't remember what all the presses were, so we're going to go through and do those again. Also, I have a gift for you all while we do this press. Whoa. Yeah, rip it. There's some Arizona peach iced tea. Very nice. I also have some water in my water bottle. Ms. Oldbag, what was your post on that night? I'm gonna speed through this bit because I know I've done it already. I just need to remind myself of it. The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show. Refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails. Yeah, besides, that manager with glasses seemed to be working hard. Take a break, spread her wings. Okay. Something you were interested in, and just what was that? Not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone you know. Top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo. No idea, gossip. Yep. Shouldn't force it right now, gotcha. I forgot about this bit, the age not being in the report. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was... Yes, he was? Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now, yeah. Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. He was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yes, he. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention centre too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. Right, I don't think we got this dialogue last time, so I think I must have somehow missed this. Maybe I chose one of the different options. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Let me double check all of this. I don't know why I checked that. I know exactly what that was going to be and that it wouldn't be helpful at all. Not that. Not that. I don't think it's the guitar case. he was wearing the jacket, like his normal outfit, he wouldn't have been in costume, so maybe it was important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you say it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony. Ooh, already yawning again, sorry. It's very warm here, so it's sleepy hours. I am recording this earlier than usual as well, so it's just definitely sleepy hours.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Oh well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. So this is where we, I think, present the button. And I think this is what I must have been missing last time. Because we definitely didn't get this dialogue. So I guess I just forgot that, like, I could press on that more. And do different options. Let's try it out. Ooh, it worked. Okay. Ms. Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah, it's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. The fake laser gun. Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Engarde's body during a full-body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Engarde. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. Ugh, and I'm yawning again. Oh my goodness. Let's try that again. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. See? And Engarde is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Engarde, was wearing his usual racing jacket? ... Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think I was the most... Oh god, she's off again. She is going off. God damn. And I will have you know I've watched a very interesting documentary about curling before. I don't remember much of it, but I know there was a long segment about how the stones were made and stuff, and it was genuinely quite cool. I enjoyed it, so... Meh.
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde, the man, but Mr. Engarde, the nickel samurai.
When you think about it. They're really one and the same anyway. Ms. Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. Engarde. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai. That's right, it was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today, I told you there is no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. And at least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, here we go. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. Let's press. Would you please get on with your testimony? What's your language, young man? What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai. Oh, she's doing the theme tune. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, please, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay, you promise, right? Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth. Old chum. The Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not? Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what? See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. I'm fairly sure you can. That's, All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough? Oh, I got an achievement for pressing that claim as well. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be? That way no one can see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that. You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him. Blah blah blah. Let's try that word again. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. And that included the Jammin' Ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
I'm struggling to do Judge's voice today. I don't know if it's just like the humidity or what, but... it's just not coming as easily today. Well, anyway. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai? As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony. It's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Yeah, so do I. It's not going to be anything on that one. It would be inconvenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. I think this is what we're going to have to contradict. But I'm not sure. what's going to contradict that. Let's save here, just in case. It might be this that we need to contradict as well. Could it be this? Maybe. Because the costume has a glove on it. If he's wearing his costume... feels kind of flimsy, admittedly, but if he was wearing his costume, his fingerprints wouldn't have been on this while stabbing him. Let's try it. Oh! That was a long shot, but okay. I'll take it. For how much time I took last time trying to get the first bit today. Let me just have some water real quick. There we go. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honour, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume... Oh, now I'm burping, flipping heck, it's all go today. Got burps and yawns and drinking, and oh. Sorry for the quality of this episode. One is shot down drastically today, apparently. If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on the knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
Let's save before Mr. Edgeworth's theory gets questioned too much. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? Yes. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Because of the knife. This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrido. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Ooh. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
Let's save. I want to keep as much of that bar as I can, but I think it's to hide the murder method. We'll try that. To hide the way in which the murder was carried out, of course. More of your nonsense. Take another good look at the autopsy report. The victim actually died from strangulation. The killer tried to hide this by stabbing a knife into the victim's chest.
But doesn't the autopsy admit that the cause of death was strangulation?
Well, yes, the real cause of death was easily discovered. Then I'd say the knife did a terrible job of concealing this fact. Okay, I was wrong. Aha, aha, aha. Although not that aha, aha, aha. Let's load. Whoopsie. To frame Matt on guard. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
To frame?
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Grr. Witness! Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe... Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Ms. Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? And I think... this is going to be good old Adrian Andrews.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumour in circulation, Your Honour.
Oh, this is... well, this is... I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article. It can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, me too. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information. I cannot wait until she's not a witness anymore. But On Guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What, nobody's above gossip? And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. Never heard that one before. Yawning right when I need to do judge's voice is like the worst combination.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumour once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, On Guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Is that how the saying goes? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Secret information. I'm going to save before doing any pressing, just in case we get told off for going off topic or anything. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the Starsman's AA. But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland. What, are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies, pretty much? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touché. Well, fencing puns have started. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. Scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means, even I know that much. Well, that On Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything, but boy do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear in any ill will towards Juan? Let's have a look. I don't know if we can at the moment. Yeah, it says they're rivals, so I don't think we can. We'll decline the offer to present. I don't have anything to offer. See, just as I thought. And when you were lecturing me about saying things without proof, you've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you young'uns need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop.
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? We can contradict that. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? We'll press further, because I think this is going to be where the camera bag comes in. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today. Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me. What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me. You'll get your reward. I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering.
As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did Old Bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. There has to be something I can catch her on. Yeah, and when I find it, I'm going to press the heck out of it. Okay. So we need to go... press on this again. So it wasn't press further that we needed to do. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Ms. Oldbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. Witness. I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The camera bag. The investigative photographer, God, the words are back, Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Ms. Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. Ah, that's it, that's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? I'm gonna save just in case I get penalised for it, but I want to pile on more pressure just for my own personal satisfaction at this point. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Ms. Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. It's going to be the camera again. We present the same thing twice. Ms. Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why? Why? Witness.
What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too. Grr. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Ah, that's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
Yeah, I think Judge is right for once. I saw that woman's business card and that's when I noticed it said Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once.
Dun dun dun.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photograph that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Lotta's photo added to the court record.
What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ongard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
The defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
I'm saving again. Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Right. We've got the flowers by the door. It might be the legs of the Hakama, because they're trailing quite a bit. They're like crumpled up. That may be what we need to go for here. There's also this bit in the top corner which should suggest she's hiding somewhere. That could be an option. Which one of those do I like better? They could write this off as just that being part of the costume. We could try this. I think it's going to be the Hakama legs though. Let's try this. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And? What does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Yeah, okay, cool, I was right. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
his socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Right, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt en garde, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt en garde. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
My guess is Adrian Andrews. But a part of me is like, it could be Oldbag. I don't think it is, but it could be. Right, let's go through everyone systematically, right? It's not going to be Maya. Not going to be Pearl, not going to be Gumshoe, not going to be Franziska, not going to be Edgeworth. Probably not going to be Will Powers. It's not Lotta Hart because she took the photo. It's not going to be Juan Corrida because he was murdered. It's not Matt en garde. Slim chance it could be Oldbag, but very slim. Which leaves Adrian Andrews as the only possibility, really.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. en garde's room. Oh, there's that too. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. en garde that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. en garde's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. I feel like Edgeworth's playing us. This is like the first day of trial. There's got to be way more to this case.
Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honour.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. The verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. Ugh. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya.
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
But what am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. I don't know. I mean, we have to try raising an objection, right? That's probably what Phoenix would do.
Now then.
Please, Your Honour, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not.
I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honour, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tut tut, unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honour.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Ms. Adrian Andrews as all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. Or what? What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Ms. Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Ms. Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
And that's going to be the to be continued. That's a really good spot to pause, I think. We made it. We got there in the end. Let's save. Yeah, so last time out I must have missed the extra options. I think I remember trying the face, like did you see his face one? And that gave nothing, and then I just didn't try pressing again for the other options. And I think that must be what I missed. So, we've got part 2 to come next time, where Ms. Adrian Andrews takes the stand. But for now, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying this as much as I have. I know I say that frequently, but it really does mean a lot that you're enjoying it. So I hope you keep enjoying it as much as I do, and I will see you all in the next one, where we've got part 2 of this trial. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.